back there.
Look at that happy crowd out there. Welcome, everyone, to the Tuesday, January 17th, 2023 Board of Education organizational and regular meeting. We have all of our trustees present, including our two new trustees. Welcome. Excited to see both of you here. They're old hat to us because they've already gone through a 5-hour workshop last week. So the fact that they're still here is amazing. And we have all 4 schools represented with our students. So that's a good start. We always begin our meetings with the Pledge of Allegiance. If you'd like to stand and join me, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. So the start of this meeting, I'll just warn everybody, is an organizational meeting, and essentially we have to do some legal business to assign officers and to approve a variety of people and organizations that assist the school district throughout the year. So we're going to move pretty quickly along here. I will try to move. My predecessor, Nancy Philippart, did this once in 9 minutes. I've not been able to do that yet. 11 is the closest I've come, so we'll see as we go through this. So members of the Board of Education must elect an acting chairperson to officiate the meeting until the election of a president has been completed. May I have a resolution, please? Ms. Ane?
Be it therefore resolved that Carl Schmidt serve as the acting chairperson to officiate the meeting until the election of the president has been completed. Support.
Thank you. I have a resolution by Ms. Ane, supported by Dr. Wilson. Any questions or comments? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say yes.
Yes.
Yes. Opposed, say no. Thank you. Resolution passes. Okay, my official act as the temporary president here is to appoint a temporary secretary. It's suggested that the acting secretary, it's suggested that I appoint Judy Holmes to act as temporary secretary until such time as the secretary to the Troy Board of Education has been elected. We don't need a resolution for that. So that moves us to our next area, which is nomination and election of officers for the 2023 calendar year. And the way we start this is we ask someone to nominate. We don't need a second for the nominations, so we just need someone to offer suggestions. Once it looks like we don't have any other names, then we will need a resolution to close nominations, and that'll have to be seconded and voted on, and then we'll then vote on whatever names show up as nominees. So I need a nomination. Dr. Wilson.
I, Nicole Wilson, nominate Carl Schmidt to serve as president of the Troy Board of Education until December 31st, 2023.
Support.
Thank you. Any other nominations? All right, seeing none, I would ask for a resolution to close nominations. Dr. Philippart.
Be it therefore resolved that nominations for the office of president of the Troy Board of Education be closed.
Support.
For a resolution by Dr. Philippart, supported by Dr. Wilson. Any comments or questions? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say yes.
Yes.
Opposed, say no. Thank you.
Mr. Schmidt, is there a roll call vote do we have?
No, now we're going to vote on.
Oh, now we're going to vote on it.
Right, we're just closing nominations.
That's right. So now we have, now I need a resolution to elect the president, right? So, right. Okay. It sounds funny, but we'll call. Okay. So I need a nomination, please. Dr. Philippart.
Be it therefore resolved that Carl Schmidt serve as president of the Troy Board of Education until December 31st, 2023.
Support.
Okay, now a resolution by Dr. Philippart, again supported by Dr. Wilson. We need a roll call vote for that. Ms. Holmes?
Mrs. Ali?
Yes.
Mrs. Ane?
Yes.
Mr. Hoff?
Yes.
Mr. Hoff?
Yes.
Dr. Philippart?
Yes.
Mr. Schmidt?
Sure.
Dr. Wilson?
All right, thank you. I appreciate the support. All right, now we need a nomination and election of a vice president. So I'll open up for nominations. Mr. Hoff, go ahead.
Gary Hoff, nominate Nicole Wilson to serve as Vice President of the Troy Board of Education until December 31st, 2023.
Support.
Thank you. Any other nominations? Thank you. I need a resolution to close nominations for Vice President. Dr. Philippart.
Be it therefore resolved that nominations for the office of Vice President of the Troy Board of Education be closed.
Support.
Resolution by Dr. Philpott, supported by Mr. Hoff. All those in favor, please say yes.
Yes.
Opposed, say no. Thank you. Now I need a resolution to actually elect Dr. Wilson. Ms. Anay.
Be it therefore resolved that Dr. Nicole Wilson serve as the Vice President of the Troy Board of Education until December 31st, 2023.
Support.
Thank you. A resolution by Ms. Anay, supported by Dr. Philippart. Any questions or comments? Seeing none. Roll call vote. Ms. Holmes?
Mrs. Anay.
Yes.
Mr. Hall.
Yes.
Mr. Hop.
Yes.
Dr. Philippart.
Yes.
Mr. Schmidt.
Yes.
Dr. Wilson.
Yes.
Mrs. Alich.
Yes.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Okay, now we need to nominate an officer for secretary. Ms. Anay.
I, Vital Anay, nominate Gary Hoff to serve as the Secretary for the Troy Board of Education until December 31st, 2023.
Support.
Thank you. Any other nominations? Seeing none, we need a resolution to close nominations. Mr. Hop?
Be it therefore resolved that nominations for the office of Secretary of the Troy Board of Education be closed.
Support.
Thank you. A resolution by Mr. Hop, supported by Dr. Wilson. Any comments or questions? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say yes.
Yes.
Yes, opposed, say no. Thank you. Resolution passes. So now I need a resolution to elect Mr. Hoff. Dr. Philippart.
Be it therefore resolved that Gary Hoff serve as Secretary of the Troy Board of Education until December 31st, 2023.
Support.
Thank you. A resolution by Ms. Philippart, supported by Ms. Anay. Any questions or comments? Seeing none, we move to a roll call vote.
Mr. Hall.
Yes.
Mr. Hop.
Yes.
Dr. Philippart.
Yes.
Mr. Schmidt.
Yes.
Dr. Wilson.
Yes.
Mrs. Alich.
Yes.
Mrs. Anay.
Yes.
Excellent. Resolution passes. Okay, now we need to approve the appointment of a school board treasurer. May I have a resolution, please? Mr. Hoff.
Be it therefore resolved that Rick West, Assistant Superintendent Business Services, be appointed as treasurer of the Troy Board of Education for the period January through December 2023.
Support.
I have a resolution by Mr. Hoff, supported by Dr. Wilson. Hi, Hare. Any questions or comments? Okay, all those in favor, please say yes.
Yes.
Yes. Opposed, say no. Thank you. Resolution passes. Congratulations.
It's a resounding yes.
Yeah, Mr. West, congratulations. Okay, now we need to establish fund depositories and investment resolution. Action needs to be taken that will approve the following resolution on fund depositories and investments. May I have a resolution, please? Dr. Philippart.
Be it therefore resolved that the Board of Education adopts the resolution on fund depositories and investments for the period January through December 2023, and that a copy of the attached resolution in its entirety be incorporated as part of the official minutes of the Board of Education.
Support.
A resolution by Dr. Philippart, supported by Mr. Hopp. Any questions or comments on this? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say yes.
Yes.
Yes, opposed, say no. Thank you. Resolution passes. And we don't need to read all of that, right? Is that just entered in? Okay. Okay, next we go to the designation of board and district legal counsel. May I have a resolution, please? Dr. Wilson.
Be it therefore resolved to continue the designation of Clark Hill PLC, Collins and Blaha PC, Miller Johnson, Thruin Law Firm PC, and Miller Canfield as legal counsel to advise and/or represent the Troy School District and Board of Education as necessary for the 2023 calendar year. The superintendent is authorized to consult additional counsel as needed with prior notification to the board.
Support.
Resolution by Dr. Wilson, supported by everyone. Let's see if we'll go. Ms. Alich. Okay. Good. Any questions or comments? Seeing none. All those in favor, please say yes.
Yes.
Yes. Opposed, say no. Thank you. Hopefully, we won't need their advice on for all those attorneys in the next 12 months. Okay, now we move to designation of superintendent to be the deputy secretary. May I have a resolution, please? Ms. Alich?
Be it therefore resolved to continue the designation of the superintendent of schools to be deputy secretary of the board with authority to act for the secretary for the 2023 calendar year.
Support.
Thank you. Supported by Mr. Hoff. Any questions or comments on this? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say yes.
Yes.
Thank you. Opposed, say no. Thank you. Move to our next item. Designation of a person for posting notices of buildings. There's always a demand. Many people want this job. But is there someone who'd like to read this resolution? Ms. Sade, go ahead.
Be it therefore resolved that the designation of a person for posting notices of meetings for the 2023 calendar year shall be Judy Holmes, the Secretary of the Superintendent of Schools.
Thank you. About resolution, Ms. Sade, supported by Mr. Hopt.
Thank you for that honor.
Any questions or comments on this one?
Judy's the best.
She's the best. We'll record that in the record. Okay, all those in favor, please say yes. Yes. Opposed, say no. Once again, unanimously, you are now in charge of that. Congratulations again. It just seems to happen year after year. Okay. All right, we'll move to approving the Board of Education meeting schedule for the 2023 calendar year. A resolution, please. Dr. Philippart.
Be it therefore resolved that the Troy Board of Education hereby adopts the scheduled meetings for the 2023 calendar year as indicated on the attached calendar.
Support.
Thank you. I have a resolution by Dr. Philippart, supported by Ms. Sane. Any questions or comments on the calendar? All those in favor, then, please say yes. Yes. Opposed, say no. Thank you. Resolution passes. Now, the next we move to board committee membership assignments for 2023. May I have a resolution, please? Go ahead, Ms. Salish, go ahead.
Be it therefore resolved that the Troy Board of Education hereby adopts the board committee memberships for the 2023 school year as attached.
Okay, I'm going with Mr. Hoff on that one. Okay, I have a resolution by Ms. Salish, supported by Mr. Hoff. Any questions or comments on this? Seeing none. All those in favor, please say yes.
Yes.
Opposed, say no.
Ms. Hoff or Hoff?
Huff. This is going to be really hard. Hoff and Huff is going to be. I'm going to start calling him Mr. Matt. Okay. Wow.
That's 10 minutes.
Someone time me? Oh, you did time me. I knew you would. Okay, 10 minutes. Oh, her record still stands. Okay, thank you, everyone. That was pretty fast. I'm going to give us credit for that anyway. All right, very good. Okay, that moves us then, we move into recognition, which we can slow it down a little bit and enjoy this.
Take our time and recognize. We have 3 items for recognition this evening. Our first is our TSD Mission Moment. And this evening, we are recognizing our Superintendent Student Advisory Executive Board. This evening, we would like to recognize a very special group of students who make up our Superintendent Student Advisory Board Executive Committee. These students lead the 60 members of the SSAB by planning and running meetings, setting agendas, bringing members together, and ensuring that everyone feels included and heard. This is the first year that we have had an executive board to lead this group. And these 7 students who will introduce this evening have done an amazing job. Most recently, they organized and executed our very successful MLK celebration and day of service, which occurred yesterday. We had approximately 800 people attend, and the feedback was overwhelmingly positive. Take a look at a few of the highlights from a video produced by one of our Creative Guild students.
Each person here today, whether you realize it or not, have committed yourself to embrace servant leadership as a part of your calling. The Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. stood and still stands as a pillar example of servant leadership.
But if we're afraid to ask the question about what kind of foods, what kind of culture, what kind of religion, what kind of beliefs we have, if we're afraid to have those courageous conversations because we built a wall and a barrier of political correctness, then we have completely shattered a part of Dr. Martin Luther King's dream. We can't understand each other if we don't know each other.
Mr. Butcher, as those students you saw in the video that had the bright pink shirts on, those are SSAB students. It was clearly a great day. But what most people don't realize is really how much planning and work goes into making it a successful day. It takes hundreds of hours in planning, choosing what service projects to do, soliciting thousands of dollars in donations and supplies, organizing volunteers, and much, much more. The members of our executive board took over the entire project and executed it to perfection with minimal support from our staff. It's my pleasure at this time to recognize the members of our executive board. We'd ask that when your name is called, you come forward. We have a small token of your appreciation, or of our appreciation for you. Parents, at that time, if you'd like to grab a picture, please feel free to do so. After you're done, just come stand in front, because when we're done, we want to get a picture of you all together. And then we're going to have an opportunity for any of our members to speak. So let's start with Anvi Aurora. Anvi's not with us? Okay. But she deserves a round of applause, certainly. Allison Diebel. Allison, let your mom get a picture. Go back. Let your mom get a picture.
Thank you.
All right, come on. George Parakis. Akshita Sahu. Anya Shah. Marlene William. Yeah, lastly is Ray Zhang. I don't think Ray's here with us this evening, but we want to certainly recognize Ray as well. Mrs. Birmingham, I'd like to get a picture of all of you. While Mrs. Birmingham is doing that, just further mention, as I mentioned earlier, this is the first year we actually had an executive board. We've been wanting to do it. This is the first year we actually pulled it off. And it was by application, and these youngsters, the applications, these young adults, just jumped out. They started meeting in August as a group, planning our MLK Day of Celebration. And when I say they did most all of the planning, I will say they did most all the planning with some additional support from Carrie Birmingham, so I have to mention Carrie. My right hand, Judy Holmes, as well as Linda Alfonso, who is assistant to Ms. Birmingham. So again, thank you all. If anyone would like to speak, come on up to the podium.
All right.
You're going to speak for the
They're going to speak. All right.
George?
Yeah, I just want to say a quick thing. I know you mentioned it was mostly run by us, but I do want to give a lot of credit because so many people in central office helped, and it wouldn't have been possible. I know Ms. Roble, Ms. Alfonso, Ms. Holmes, and Ms. Birmingham were really, really instrumental, and they basically helped us out with whatever we needed. So we needed help with logistics or food. They really helped us out whenever we needed. So we really appreciate that, and it was just great to be able to make a positive impact on the community and also empower others to do the same at that day of service. So thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, so going off what George just said, we also want to thank Miss Yancy Chantel. We also wanted to thank Roop Raj and Dr. Macheski, and also our Mayor Ethan Baker, and also the Black Student Union from both Athens and Troy High. They were an instrumental part of the entire presentation overall, and it was really inspiring to hear from all of these different groups and hear their unique experiences and kind of promote Dr. King's legacy. So we also want to thank these groups as well.
Okay. Well, thank you all. Next is our Student Spotlight. Our Student Spotlight is an opportunity for us to recognize and celebrate the talents and achievements of our students in the Creative Guild. This evening, we feature a sophomore from Troy from Troy High School who recently wrapped up editing on her directional debut short film. Mr. Butcher.
Thank you, Dr. Macheski and members of the board, and welcome to our new board members. As a filmmaker, I am very excited that we are featuring a student in their first film they have ever made. I met with Akshaya Rachamadugu in June at the end of the last school year, and she told me that summer she wanted to make a short film. She had never done so before, which means that she then learned how to write a script and screenplay format for the first time. She did a storyboard for her vision for the first time. She had to cast, produce, and direct for the first time, and she learned how to edit with Adobe Premiere Pro for the first time. I've run out of fingers on this hand. She started this project in June, and over 6 months later, she has finished the final cut. She didn't take any shortcuts. She did everything the way you're supposed to do it. And she didn't have to, especially since it's only her first film. But now she has developed good habits and has the experience moving forward to make the next one even better. This film was a collaborative effort between both Troy High and Athens students. I am very impressed and very proud of the production that Akshaya led. And as someone who has taken college film classes and has been to many film festivals, I can tell you, Akshaya's first film as a high school sophomore is already just as good, if not better, than many college student films that I've seen, but that's just my opinion. I believe she has a true passion for this. She asks a lot of great questions, and she faced the most difficult moments of being a first-time filmmaker head on. I'm going to take you back for a second. After months of planning, it's finally her first day to film. They actually used the trail right behind this building that day. Now, I pull up in my car to help capture some behind the scenes. It started pouring rain. It must have been the hardest it rained all year in Troy. And it only lasted for about 15 minutes or so, but it was right when they scheduled to start at 2 o'clock. They got soaked. I was nice and dry in my car. That experience could have easily made many people just give up. But Akshaya and her team pushed forward, and now today, the film is done. So congratulations, Akshaya. You are now and forever a filmmaker.
You okay there, kid?
Yeah, fine. Can I go out and grab some sticks and stuff a fire for this morning? No. It's getting late. I don't want you wandering right now.
Now, the reason I showed that clip is because it's a great example of cinematic language. The passage of time in the edit, sound effects, visual information for character objectives, cinematography. A lot of thought went into this sequence that only lasts for about 1 minute. And you don't always see that at Akshaya's age. So if you want to see the full film, make sure you're following the Creative Guild on social media for updates. Instagram at TSD Creative Guild and Twitter at TSD Guild. I'm going to open for questions or comments right now, and I will start by asking, what was your favorite part of this new experience and why?
My favorite part was like when I first made the storyboard, I wasn't really sure how it was gonna turn out, but it was really fun on the first day of filming, seeing how all the shots were being made, and I was problem solving because I didn't really imagine what I was properly gonna do, but I changed a lot of things, and I'm really happy with the changes I made.
Good. Other questions for our filmmaker?
I want to say I love the anticipation you do with the music. Like, you did a great job with the way you put sound in it. What inspired your story?
I've always really liked thriller stories, and before I thought of making a short film, I saw another one which it was like a thriller type of thing, and it had no gore in it, no blood or anything, and I really liked it how it made it so suspenseful without any actual horror in it. So yeah, that's what it was.
Great job.
Thank you.
So Akshaya, what got you into filmmaking? Because we all love movies. I love watching movies, but never thought about getting into that area. So what made you get into that?
I wasn't really into it. I got into it I think a year ago when Mr. Butcher started asked me once to take photos for him, and then I started really taking photos, and it was just really cool, the lighting and everything. And then at the end of the year, when he asked us if we have any projects that we wanted to work on, my friend also suggested because I wanted to write a story, and she's like, since you're already in film, how about you make a short film? And I was like, that's such a good idea, and I started looking into it more, and that's how I got into it.
Okay, so you are a story writer also?
I like writing stories, yeah, sometimes.
Wonderful.
Other questions?
And how long, when you say a short film, how short is short?
I think short is 1 minute, but those are, I feel are always the best ones. I wanted to make mine as short as possible.
Okay.
I made mine to about I think 5 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What aspect was harder than you thought it was going to be when you started off? Was there anything that you thought, oh, this part's going to be easy, and it turned out to take a lot more time or effort than you expected?
I felt this scene was the hardest, honestly, because I wanted to make it look like everything was happening fast, and not because once I started editing it, I saw how slow it actually really was, and I was really scared that it wasn't gonna show the passage of time. But once I started editing it a little bit more, it worked out.
Okay, all right, great. Thank you. All right, I was going to say, we have a certificate for you, so we're going to.
Congratulations again, Akshaya. Tripped over that one.
Okay, I think we have one more, right?
We do.
Yeah.
We have one more. I'll handle this one. Each January, the Troy School District honors and celebrates the trustees of the Board of Education. School Board Appreciation Month is a time to recognize the critical role that members of the board play in reinforcing the mission of the Troy School District, ensuring learning for all. Through policies, fiscal stewardship, and support of world-class teaching and learning, trustees make a vital contribution in the education of our students. What you see during these board meetings is just a small part of the service that our trustees provide to our students, staff, and community. There are many hours of preparation, learning, and advocacy devoted to this volunteer position. Though our trustees come from diverse backgrounds and roles outside our schools, they put on a collective hat to govern the Troy School District. Board members must pull together as a team toward a common goal, helping students achieve. Their role as a board is to consistently strive towards that goal. We are grateful for the collaboration and hard work of all members of our Troy Board of Education, and continue to bring to our district, especially during these challenging times. Thank you for all you do.
Thank you.
And Mrs. Holmes is
distributing.
She's in the process of finishing distributing. Just a small token of our appreciation for your continued devoted support of the students across the Troy School District and all the members of our learning community. So we hope you will appreciate these, and I won't ruin this secret too much, but that you wear them with pride. Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Nancy, why don't you open it up so everybody can see? Spoiler alert, they're all the same. Okay. So.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
Might
Oh,
be able
very
to get
nice.
some use
Thank
out of
you.
those.
Oh,
And,
yeah, that's a great.
At various conferences representing the Troy School District. So,
Thank you.
again, thank you for all your dedicated service. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
That brings us to the close of recognition.
All right. All right, so with that takes us to the end of recognition. We're going to take a quick recess, so if anyone was here for recognition, you can go about your evening. If you're welcome to stay and enjoy the rest of our exciting meeting, but if you have better things to do, we understand. So we'll take a quick break now, and then we'll jump back in. We are going to rearrange it. We're going to start with the student reports, because I know it's midterms week, so that way all of you can get out of here after your report if you want to, okay? So after the break, we'll start with that. So. Looks like we've got everybody back at the seat here, so we're going to go ahead and move forward. And I think we'll go with additions and deletions.
There are none this evening?
Public communication on agenda items, I see none. And then I want to, before the general consent agenda, let's go ahead and move forward to our student rep reports. So I'm going to move all the way forward. And I'll let Sophia wait till the end because she can let everybody else do it before. Yara, how about you? You want to start off and tell us how things are going over at IA East these days?
Yes. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, members of the board. Things are going great at the International Academy as we wrapped up our midterm exams before break and then enjoyed a nice winter break. Late last month, our ski and snowboard club initiated their season at Mount Holly and will continue to meet every Friday all throughout this month as well. We'd like to congratulate Omkar Prabhu, IA East freshman, as he won the silver medal in his weight class at the Yale Wrestling Tournament. Just this past weekend, we had arguably the best event our school hosts, and that is the annual culture show sponsored by our Indian American Student Association. Students performed a number of dances from various backgrounds, including Bengali, Filipino, Middle Eastern, South Indian, and more. There even was a teacher dance thrown in there. Students had been working diligently over the past 4 months and in return showcased such amazing performances. Just this past week or two, the seniors wrapped up finishing all of their internal assessments with just the last few in subjects biology and mathematics. The internal assessments, a requirement of the IB diploma program, are independent investigations completed for every subject over the course of the past 2 years. The math internal, for example, is a 12 to 20-page report on a real-world investigation using math operations to draw a conclusion. To say the least, the seniors are overjoyed to be finished with them. Tomorrow, our 10th graders will be having their personal project exhibition. The personal project is a student-centered and independent exploration through a cycle of inquiry, action, and reflection, which allows students to consolidate their learning towards the beginning years of the IB program. And this is the last reminder that the application for the class of 2027 prospective students of the IA East is still open, and the deadline of January 29th is very soon. Families are highly encouraged to apply through the website at iatoday.org, and the 8th grade informational night will be held tomorrow at 6 p.m. at the school. That is all I have for today. Thank you and have a great rest of your night.
Great, thank you. Nish, I'm going to jump over to you. Let's talk about Troy High. How are things going over there?
Okay. Can everyone hear me? All right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Perfect. So things at Troy High have been going great. Our winter sports seasons have been continuing, and they've been up and running. Our teams are doing really well at that. One of our most notable achievements this past weekend was DECA Districts for our school's DECA Club, which is a business club for those of you that may not have heard about it. We've had 94 kids from Troy High qualify for the state conference, which is in March. So that's exciting, as it is a big boost from last year, which is nice to see. One of our main events for this month is our Activist Week, which is going to be running through February 6th all the way to February 11th. Now, this Activist Week is 1 week where we have Spirit Days and Restaurant Week, but each of the events leading up to it are all going to be fundraising events for Oxford. So last year we raised about $35,000 for Oxford, and our goal is to beat that this year, so fingers crossed. But additionally, that's going to be made up of our Spirit Days, where we have Blackout, Pink Out, Anything But a Backpack, these different fun events. We're also going to have Restaurant Weeks, where essentially our main kind of motto is to help families maybe skip a night of cooking at home and eat out at Panda Express, Mod Pizza, and various restaurants that are hosting fundraisers. Some of our main events this coming month will be our Powerpuff volleyball tournament. So that's going to be coming up, and our second annual Troy High's Got Talent, which was an event that we introduced last year, and we're excited to really bring that back this year. And finally, on February 11th, we'll be having our Snow Coming Dance, which is a very fun, exciting event for all our students. Another big event coming up this month, which is definitely a student, very popular event for students, is Coin Stall, where students can bring in money, and for every dollar that the classroom raises, teachers can stall class for a minute, and if the class brings $60, then class is essentially skipped for that day. So that's a very popular event for all our students.
Big fundraiser, I bet, yeah.
We're excited to bring that back this year, hopefully stall some more classes. And we are also going to be having Ticket to Skip It, which is essentially a new event that we're bringing in this year, where students almost, again, part of our fundraising initiative, where we're raising money and students can skip and have study hours in the library or hang out with some of their friends in the gym, auditorium for these exciting events.
I'm seeing a theme to your fundraising here. Okay.
And finally, we are bringing back Troy High Survivor, which was a very popular and very demanding event last year where our teachers and our students both participated in Survivor. If you guys haven't seen, it is a TV show where kind of like American Ninja Warrior, except you're trying to survive the longest. And last year we had a student win it, so let's hope this year another student wins it. But that is also coming up. So that's the things at Troy High right now.
Okay, great. Sounds like fun. Okay. Hi, Sarah. How about for you? What's going on at Athens?
Hello, everyone. My name is Sarah Ali, and I'm a senior at Athens High School, and it is my pleasure to be representing Athens today for the January board meeting. Yesterday, we had our MLK Day of Service, and many of our Athens clubs and honor societies helped with that, such as Project Lead and NHS. The MLK Day of Service consisted of giving back to the community through our lovely student volunteers and parents in our district. The Muse Club at Athens hosted the annual coffee house, which allows students to express themselves. We had a plethora of our student bodies sharing songs, poems, and even stand-up comedy. Athens MSA will be taking a part in MIST, which contains a variety of competitive events such as photography, basketball, short film, and more for a chance at winning scholarships and prizes for those attending. NHS and Project Lead have supported the unified basketball team to promote inclusivity in our district, and NHS is inducting over 150 new members, the most they have ever had, showing Athens students' will to serve and strive for academic excellence. Preparations for the Mental Health Month at Athens are starting to begin, with plans to dedicate a whole month for stress-relieving activities throughout the month of May. This will include therapy dog sessions for our students, yoga instructors coming in and teaching on the football field, pledges being signed during lunches to ensure raising awareness and reducing stigma in our school as well as community, a baked goods sale to raise funds for local mental health organizations, and more. Overall, we are happy to start a new semester of school while simultaneously portraying acts of integrity and thoughtfulness within our district. Finally, we wish our students across the district good luck on midterm week. Thank you and have a good night.
Great. Sarah, have you picked a charity recipient for Charity Week yet?
Yeah,
Has that been announced?
Yeah, it has been announced. It was last month, I believe. It's called Carol's Guardian Angels, I believe.
Okay.
And it's a charity for domestic abuse victims.
Okay. All right. Great. Thank you. All right. And then we have from TCCHS, Alexi could not come, but Sophia Lally volunteered to step in. So welcome to Sophia. Tell us what's going on over at TCC.
Thank you. All right. TCC is finishing up its second semester in our 4-class, 4-semester system. Students have been able to earn 2 credits each semester with the goal of earning 8 credits a year instead of the 6 credits per year offered at most high schools. This allows us to make up for lost credits, lots of more electives and that interest us, participate in work-based learning, and take early college classes. Our art students have transformed our hallways into art galleries. Students at all levels have been showcasing their artwork in an open exhibition or self-expression. Not only does our art celebrate our creativity, thoughts, and feelings, but it beautifies our school. Before Christmas, we did our annual Adopt a Family. Our students were so giving to the family. The family appreciated us and told us we made the best Christmas yet. They told us that once they get back on their feet, they would like to pay it forward. The TCC woodshop classes have been busy remodeling our school the past semester. Students have built storage cabinets for our fitness center, bookshelves, and decorative panels for our conference room, installed electric fireplaces in our conference room and common area, and currently working on a resin river table. And that is all.
So how does all the construction look?
Oh, it's actually looking amazing. A lot.
Don't sound surprised.
I know, I really was.
I'm going to tell your classmates, but no, really, go ahead.
Yeah, our principal's office, Miss M's office, a whole bunch of kids basically worked on her wall to make a whole bunch of shelves. So her entire wall is basically just a whole bunch of wooden shelves that we hand burnt and then hand cut and put in and shaped, and it looks amazing in there.
I got to get over there. We were over there right before it started. They had just started clearing the wall and painting, so I was dying to see how it turned out. So.
It's really cool. It turned out a lot better than I thought personally. Like seeing the kids, I'm gonna be honest.
Again, the
kids
surprise.
Like they were, like these kids, like they can surprise you sometimes of like, they'll be the kids of, you know what, they seem like really unmotivated until you get them hands-on, and especially at this school, it's a great opportunity to like get them hands-on and show them like, this is what we're gonna do, and they genuinely love it and get really creative with it.
Well, and your wood shop's got fantastic equipment in it.
Yeah,
I
it
looked at that at the beginning of the year. So, and most important question, are Mr. Turner's fish still alive?
Yes, they are. Yeah, we actually have starfish too now. It's awesome.
Oh, cool. Okay. All right. Wonderful. All right. Well, thank you. For our 4 students here, like I said, we know that it's midterms week. So if you want to take off now, you can. You're welcome to stay if for some reason you've got midterms under control. But just go ahead and.
You're anxious to hear about it.
Yeah, I know. Look at them. They couldn't move faster to get out of here. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Thanks, folks.
Thanks, guys.
Okay. So we'll back up to good night.
Good night.
Okay, so we move to our general consent agenda. This consists of A, the minutes of the December 6th, 2022 Board of Education workshop, B, the minutes of the December 13th, 2022 Board of Education meeting, C, the treasurer's report from November of 2022, and D, stormwater management plan. May I have resolution, please? Mr. Hoff.
Be it therefore resolved that the Troy Board of Education takes action to approve items A, B, C, and D on the consent agenda.
Support.
Resolution by Ms. Strauss, supported by Ms. Alish. Are there any questions or comments about the consent agenda? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Opposed, say no. Thank you. Resolution passes. All right. Personnel?
There's none this evening.
Thank you. Curriculum?
There's none this evening.
Thank you. That moves us to business and Mr. West. Good evening.
Mr. Schmidt, Dr. Macheski, members of the board.
Fresh from your election.
It's an appointment.
His appointment, that's right. His appointment.
He doesn't have a choice.
That's right. He didn't actually run for office, did he? Yeah, okay.
Thank you again for the trust.
And abuse, yeah.
Four agenda items for your consideration this evening. All 4 were discussed thoroughly at the last workshop and debated, and I appreciate that dialogue. The first one being the THS, Troy High School turf replacement and Bolin Park Middle School track replacement. An RFP was issued to obtain competitive bids for replacement of the synthetic turf in the athletic stadium at Troy High School and the running track replacement at Bolin Park Middle School. Bid responses were reviewed by TSD Operations Department and Foresight Design along with the athletic department. It's recommended the bid be awarded as stated below.
Okay, thank you. We're being asked to consider or to approve the purchase of turf replacement for Troy High and track replacement for Bolin Park Middle School. May I have a resolution, please? Dr. Philippart.
Be it therefore resolved that the bid for turf and track replacements be awarded as follows, and that the $1,829,470 be approved as an expenditure of the Building Site and Sinking Fund and/or the 2023 Bond Fund. Site work for turf, S&H Trucking and Excavating LLC, Alt A, for $483,000. Synthetic turf, Shaw Integrated and Turf Solutions, Inc., for Alt E, $580,458. Track surface, Goddard Coatings, for Alt G, $144,105. And site work for the track, Nagel Paving, $534,790, contingency of $87,117 for a total expenditure of $1,829,470.
Support.
Thank you. I have a resolution by Dr. Philippart, supported by Dr. Wilson. Are there questions or comments about this resolution?
Thank you for bringing Shaw last week so we could actually see all the stuff.
So the awardal here is not technically the low bidder, correct, as we look at that? Do you want to talk a little bit about, why we are recommending something that isn't necessarily the lowest dollar amount, at least for initial purchase?
Sure, and it was important that I mentioned the athletic department in that preface as well, because we had a thorough review of the Foresight Design, being our engineers and our designers on the product, with the operations department and athletic department all collaborated on this. We issued a base bid that we knew that we didn't necessarily want, but it allowed the companies that do this to bid and then add alternates for the products that they have. Rob Carson led the efforts and reviewed all of the bids, sat down, did post-bid interviews with some of the companies, and ultimately reviewed all of the alternative products that were offered. And after thorough review, analysis, and discussion, it was determined that they believe that the recommendation and the product that Shaw Integrated and Turf Solutions is providing, it's called the Game On product, is the best in the business right now, provides for the best product. There are, it allows for 8,200 lineal feet of less seams, and that's important in this industry. I've learned a lot in the last couple of weeks, but that lowers the maintenance effort on it. It increases the quality of the product, so we are recommending quality here.
And quality, you mean like a lifespan of the?
Quality, the lifespan of it, the low maintenance of it, so we went with quality over necessarily lowest cost here after thorough review and analysis.
Okay, great. Any other questions? All right, seeing none. All those in favor, please say yes.
Yes.
Yes. Opposed, say no. Thank you. Resolution passes. We'll move to 11B.
Appreciate that, thank you. ARP was this year, this is Troy High School gym bleacher replacement project. This was in the works too prior to any of the bond issues and stuff. Therefore, RFP was issued to obtain competitive bids for bleacher replacement at Troy High School. Bid responses were reviewed by Rob Carson, Director of Operations, and Lean Co-Planners, and it's recommended the bid be awarded as stated below. Question did come up in the workshop as well as throughout the week about the disposal of these products, not only this product, but the other one. It is the intent on any of our projects to save and reuse anything that can be, and then we will look for opportunities to recycle what we can as well, and then dispose of the rest. And our companies and contractors are committed to that as well. So just wanted to address that issue.
Okay, great. Thank you. We're being asked to consider the purchase of new gym bleachers for Troy High. May I have a resolution, please?
I can do it.
Ms. Anay?
Be therefore resolved that the bid for bleacher replacement be awarded to Intercal LLC in the amount of $490,396.20, and that this amount be approved as an expenditure of the building, site, and sinking fund.
Support.
Resolution by Ms. Anay, supported by Ms. Alish. Any questions or comments? Mr. Hoff.
The only comment I had, and you explained it very well during the workshop, is that these bleachers came with the school when they were built, and they have really overserved their lifespan in terms of being collapsible into the wall, and the mechanisms are underneath to collapse them. It's difficult, if not impossible, to find parts and so forth, if you want to explain.
Yes, it has come to the end of life where, safety is certainly at the forefront of this decision, and making sure that we have a safe product in there. As you mentioned, we did a thorough review. The bleachers were actually having a negative impact on the floor as well. So the time has come for end of life here, and it's warranted our recommendation here.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other? May I note that you're doing this out of the building site and sinking funds, so it sounds like this has been on the books for a while, actually.
It has, yes.
Okay, all right. Thank you. All right, all those in favor, please say yes.
Yes.
Opposed, say no. Thank you. Resolution passes. That moves us to 11C.
Excellent. C, flooring replacement and polishing project. I will say that since the passage of the sinking fund in 2017, we've been had the great opportunity to continue to focus on the floors in our buildings, and we continue to thank our community for that investment. This year, we issued an RFP to obtain competitive bids for flooring replacement and polishing work at Barnard, Bemis, Hamilton, Schroeder, Troy Union, and Wass Elementary Schools, Larson Middle, Athens High School, and Troy High Schools, central office in the services building. Bid responses were reviewed by TSD Operations Department. It's recommended the bid be awarded as stated below. I do want to mention, and we've talked about this in the workshop, and it often comes up in questions here, any of these projects we're doing, we look at and we consider the scope of the bond projects that we're looking at the next 10 years. And the life of the projects here, how they're going to fit in logistically with the other projects. So it's a thoughtful process, and we're going to continue to do that. So I want the board to be assured that those conversations are had in any of our recommendations with our cabinet team, with our administrative teams, and certainly with our professional services. So here we're confident that the floors we're putting in are going to align with the projects that will eventually be done in all of these buildings, and thus we bring this recommendation forward.
Great, thank you. We're being asked to consider a resolution for floor replacement and polishing. May I have a resolution, please? Ms. Alish?
Be it therefore resolved that the bid for flooring replacement work be awarded as follows, and that this amount be approved as an expenditure of the Building Site and Sinking Fund and Community Service Fund. Conventional Carpet Inc. flooring demo replacement in the amount of $1,223,713. Paint Plus LLC floor polishing in the amount of $70,493. Additional emergency flooring in the amount of $30,000 for a total of $1,324,206.
Support.
Thank you. Resolution by Ms. Alish, supported by Dr. Philippart. Any questions or comments about this resolution? I just have two quick ones. One is these are low bidders, correct?
Correct.
Just for the record. And then the other thing is, to your note earlier, Athens is listed as one of the buildings where we're doing work. Is that floor polishing, or recognizing that we're replacing that building?
That scope of work is, I believe, polishing, floor polishing. I would have to double check and verify that with you, Mr. Schmidt.
But to your point that it
will
establish that it makes sense given the lifespan of the building at this point?
Yes.
Okay, all right. Thank you. Any other questions or comments? Okay, all those in favor, please say yes.
Yes.
Yes, opposed, say no. Thank you. Resolution passes. That moves us to 11D.
Thank you. Cafeteria tables, we brought some cafeteria tables to you a few months ago, and this is taking advantage of the funds through our Community Service Fund and the CARE Act funds that we've received. So we're very excited to make these purchases. Cafeteria tables at Troy Union and Hamilton Elementary Schools are in need of replacement. The REMC cooperative agreement was used to obtain competitive pricing. It's recommended the bid be awarded as stated below. Again, the CARE Acts we received, or we have about $2.4 million more to spend as it relates to child care related expenses. Hamilton and Troy Union are licensed facilities for before and after care. Therefore, the state is very interested in these monies being used. So we are taking the opportunity here, and actually in the last bid, we're using some community service fund for Hamilton Elementary Media Center as well, because that's a licensed care facility as well. So we're using these funds opportunistically to get some projects done that have been needed done, and here the cafeteria tables, if you're in any of those buildings, are certainly in need of replacement as well. So that's what warrants this recommendation.
And these are time-limited federal funds, correct?
They are,
yeah.
Yes. So we will expend these funds by June 30th.
Okay. Thank you for being asked to pass a resolution to purchase new cafeteria tables for Troy Union and Hamilton. May I have a resolution, please? Dr. Wilson?
Be it therefore resolved that the purchase of cafeteria tables be awarded to school specialty in the amount of $89,629.12, and that this amount be approved as an expenditure of the Community Service Fund.
Support.
Thank you. Resolution by Dr. Wilson, supported by Mr. Hoff. Any questions or comments on this? Seeing none, All those in favor, please say yes.
Yes.
Yes, opposed, say no. Thank you. Resolution passes. Thank you, Mr. West.
Thank you.
Okay, that moves us to public communication and non-agenda items. Just as we have two non-agenda speakers today, just to lay out our usual ground rules here, we ask that everybody be courteous. Each person has 3 minutes to speak. If you could introduce yourself by name and then indicate whether you have children in the district or not. And then really just be courteous. And Dr. Wilson here will give you some reminders to count down to 3 minutes. So you'll see a little sign and she'll let you know. I have Janice Gerling, my first speaker. Good evening.
Hi, good evening. Welcome to the new board members. My name is Janice Gerling. I'm a Troy resident of 12 years, and I'm a parent of a junior at Athens High School. I've been watching from a distance things taking place inside the Troy School District and at the board meetings via video. And although there were several times I would have liked to make public comments here, I didn't feel comfortable doing so. I'd heard about the labeling and targeting of parents who were voicing their concerns. I myself have been deeply involved in Troy schools for many years, both inside my child's classrooms and as a PTO officer. I've always had great respect for the teachers and the administration and the board members. Thank you for what you do. And I enjoy giving back to the community in the district that has helped my daughter grow so much in her education and other ways. I have worked with, been friends with, and even voted for some on this school board. Never in the past did I feel like I couldn't ask a controversial question or have a differing opinion, but something has clearly changed. When I finally attended my first board meeting in person on December 13th of last year, I was extremely disappointed at the nonverbal yet obviously annoyed reactions of the board at a few comments made by very concerned parents and citizens that night. One board member was even vocal towards the end of the meeting, going so far as to label parents with different views as being hateful and insinuating that they were bigots. I was appalled. I did not see hatred that night, nor have I seen hatred from any parent, especially the ones speaking up, only concerned for the future of our kids. I would like to share with you tonight, in addition to this, a partial quote from a recent Troy High School newspaper article, and the article is entitled "Censorship," with an asterisk in place of the E. Quote, "I feel like groups like Moms for Liberty are counterproductive. In school, you should be able to get an unbiased education, and Moms for Liberty are fighting against it. They want to promote teaching the principles of liberty in our homes and community. They have a hit list of books they think should be banned from different schools around the nation. The list is blatantly homophobic and racist. Along with that, they don't believe in mask mandates or the COVID-19 vaccine. If that doesn't say a lot about the group and their morals, then the subtle racism, homophobia, and transphobia should." End quote. This opinion piece is clearly a blatant attack on other students' parents, calling them counterproductive, questioning their morals, and labeling them as racist, homophobic, and transphobic.
30 seconds.
Now, while I believe it is crucial for students to be allowed to express their opinions, shouldn't there be equal opportunity to do so on both sides of an argument? There are students who have expressed differing opinions and whose school administrators then attempted to silence for speaking out. This is quite frankly hypocrisy. I'm extremely disappointed in this. It does not protect the rights of all, and it goes against what Troy School District stands for, equality and equity, which should also apply to opinions.
Time's up.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have Mr. Ali Apahidian. Good evening.
Good evening. My name is Ali, Troy resident, Troy parent. Considering that today is the first official board meeting for the two members, I think it's important to formally inform them about the ongoing battle between parents and administrators and media specialists regarding the pornography and inappropriate sexually explicit material that is being made available to students in our district. The code of ethics that these two board members were required to sign requires them to become informed about various issues that come before them. Pornography in the schools is just one of these issues that parents and community members hope you will get informed about. And now some quotes from a book that condones child porn, pedophilia, drug use, and underage drinking. This book was challenged, but all the principals and media specialists on the review committee voted to continue providing it to minors in this district. Quote, let's pretend I'm here with you, big butt and all, getting ready to suck your brains right out of your. So they rolled up a few joints and smoked them while watching the executions and the porn, the body parts moving around on the screen in slow motion. Then they went to a Russian site that employed ex-acrobats, ballerinas, and contortionists. Whoever said a guy can't suck his own? She was only 8, or she looked 8. The act involved whipped cream and a lot of licking. The effect was both innocent and obscene. The 3 of them were going over the guy with their kittenish tongues and their tiny fingers, giving him a thorough workout to the sound of moans and giggles. And if that was too much to swallow for our 2 new board members, here's a few more mild scenes from 2 books that were just added to the Athens Media Center last week by the media specialist herself. Quote, I run my hands up her arm and over the curves of her chest. I slide my hands back to her shoulders and trace the outline of her bra. And then I slide my fingers under the straps. Both of them ran home to get my parents while I lay there unable to move with my dick hanging out of my pants. So for the 6-year term that's ahead of you, concerned parents like myself will continue to inform you about issues that really matter in our schools. And pornography is on the top of that list. We're not going away, and we will do everything in our power to hold you accountable for anything and everything that has a negative impact on the mental and emotional health of the kids in our community. Porn is destructive to the minds of
30
children.
seconds.
One of your jobs is to protect children, not exploit them, or condone anybody and anything in our district that exploits them. I hope you take your job seriously. Thank you.
All right, thank you. And we move us to other. No. Moves us to other. Dr. Philippart?
I really, again, want to welcome Amina and Matt to the board. We're looking forward to working with you. And just to thank you, Carl, Nicole, and Gary, for continuing to serve as officers. I know that's additional work above and beyond what we all do, and certainly appreciate your willingness to serve again.
Thank you. Mr.
Just
Howe?
want to say thank you for the warm welcome from everybody. I'm really excited for the year and starting this new role and learning a lot over the next couple months or so. So thank you.
Learning how to drink out of a fire hose?
Yeah, pretty much.
So,
I'm a talent.
okay. Ms. Sunny?
Welcome, both of you. It's not going to be easy, but you're going to learn. It's for the kids, so it's going to be
Fun. It'll still be fun. Yeah.
It's going to be fun, yes. And thank you to the 3 of you for taking on the roles as president, vice president, and secretary. I know it's additional work. Thank you for doing that and taking on to do that. And that's about it for now.
The cultural show.
Oh, yes, I can talk about, so the culture show was great. I did go to the IA East Culture Show. It was really fun. It was put together by the Indian American Students Association, but it was international culture. So Yara, while Yara was here, I was going to come, and she was being modest, but she also performed, and she was great.
Oh.
Yes, so everybody, there was like Middle Eastern dances, Filipino dances, K-pop. It was an amazing show. And the best part was the teachers dancing. And they danced various types of Indian dances, and they looked better than the kids. Like that. So they've not only learned, but they've done an excellent job. So thank you. Always what our teachers do for our students, they learn from them, and they make them feel like they're part of the thing. Thank you.
Great. All right. Wonderful. Welcome.
Thank you. I just want to say I'm excited to be here and to do the work. And I do want to say, you know, as I've been going through my onboarding process, I want to say that I'm just overall impressed by the level of professionalism that we have here in the Troy School District. I think that we should not take that for granted, and you know, anybody watching should really understand that a lot of work goes into making all of this work, and that we really do have some top-level professionals in all of the different areas that the district covers. So I'm really excited to, to work with our different stakeholders for the benefit of all of our students.
Great. Gary.
I wish to thank the board for the confidence to reelect me again as secretary. It is an honor to be a trustee in this district. It's an honor to serve with Carl and Nicole and Mina and Matthew and Nancy and Vittel. And, we do have extremely hardworking people in our district. I've recognized that for the almost quarter century that I've enjoyed the responsibility of being here. Our school principals work extremely hard at the glue to keep the students and their teachers focused, and it goes right up the chain to our assistant superintendents who see that the work is carried out, and of course by our superintendent who is the master orchestrator of seeing that this all comes to being. But make no mistake about it, it's hard work, it is rewarding work, and I wouldn't trade it for anything. Thank you.
Great.
Thank you for your confidence in me, and welcome to Matt and Amina. Also, I just want to thank the community for the way that they supported MLK Day yesterday. It was, I'm always so grateful to be a part of an organization and a community that just has such a generous spirit. And so just to see the way that people ooze generosity on days like the MLK Day of Service, and as we plan for Activist Week and Charity Week, and I just know that this community will rally behind all of these students who have a vision to give back and be grateful for all of the things that they have. And so it's an honor to be able to be a part of something that is so committed to making a difference in the community. And so thank you for all the teachers who give up their class time for things like coin stall and all of that, and that the teachers, they enter into all of this stuff with such a good spirit, and they don't get bent out of shape when kids buy their way out of class. And so I appreciate the camaraderie and community, and I know, to Amina's point, that takes effort and choice, teachers choosing to do that. And so just thank you to all our teachers, administrators, support staff for making this district what it is.
All right, thank you.
That's worth a clap. It is, thank you. Thank you.
On to you.
Yes, Mr. Schmidt. Just a couple of things. I want to highlight that next week, Monday through Thursday, 7 o'clock at Athens, all of our choirs will be participating. Elementary, middle, and high school will be now at the same time. But over the course of those 4 days, we'll be participating, performing at Athens High School. For those of you that want to get out, it's a nice opportunity to hear our students from elementary all the way through performing. So just a little shout out to those folks. And then the other piece that I just want to make mention of, and something that is, I think it's important for our community to know, is one of the most important components of the board, one of the most important roles that our board plays is that of advocacy. And this board will hit the ground running in January. We already have meetings set up with our three newest legislators. Our three newest legislators here in Michigan, our state representatives and senators, are set up for the next 2 weeks, where we'll have an opportunity to share with those newly elected individuals our legislative priorities. And then a group representing the board will be going to the NSBA Advocacy Conference in Washington, D.C. a couple of weekends from now as well. That's a real important opportunity for us then to meet face-to-face with our federal legislators and talk about things like special education, fully funding IDEA, the importance of continuing to support school lunch, the school lunch program, and so forth, and many other opportunities. So I just think it's important for the community to know that this board takes advocacy very seriously, and we're jumping into it this month, both here in Michigan as well as Washington, D.C.
Great. I'm all reruns here from everybody else. But let me speak to MLK Day just from a different perspective, because I agree it was moving morning. It was. It really is every year. But back to the kids and our administration that really made it happen. That I know it doesn't just happen, and I know that Carrie Birmingham worked all weekend. I mean, I know that we have a lot of adults here that are, and the kids said it themselves, you know, when George came up and said it. But the result is a program that is inspiring and exciting and real, you know? I mean, so I just, every year I feel like it's better, and I'm glad we're able to get back into in person, and I didn't realize how much I missed it until I came and went, oh, this is really important that we do this every year. So I just am so proud of what we do and proud of all the people who've allowed that to happen. So thank you to all of you, and I know you're on the top of all this as we go through. So, and I'm sure you were orchestrating from your conference, and then you came back from your conference on Saturday, and I'm sure you were engaged immediately when you landed, so I appreciate that. The other thing I wanted to let people know, a couple of things. One is that, and you know that we have the Troy Times insert is coming next week, is that right? Next week, and I did write our board article about Portrait of a Graduate, just to let the community know that the board is in the process of we'll say listening to all the stakeholders in the city about Portrait of a Graduate as we build that, and essentially what that will be a document that will identify from the perspective of the community what are the hopes and dreams that the community has for students who go through our system, and in what positive ways can our system impact those kids and prepare them for life after graduation. So in some ways it's a continuation of our strategic document work, but the idea is to go from if you look at our strategic plan, it's more about this is what adults do. If we look at Portrait of a Graduate, it's what is the result of the things that the adults do, right? So we want to be able to look back and say that we're focused on what it is that our kids are going to get out of all this. So we're really excited to start that work, and that's really the board work is going to be primarily for the first 6 months of this year. We hope by June then to have established what that looks like, and then it'll be implemented across the district in the fall. Did I say anything wrong there, or is that's the timing right? Okay, make sure I got that. The other thing I wanted to let people know is that within the last 2 weeks, we actually had an outside security company who came in. We used, was that federal relief money that allowed that for free? There was state funding allowed us to have a security consult. And the nice thing about this firm is that they don't sell anything. All they do is come in and they review your procedures, review your buildings, and they make suggestions for you about ways you may be able to tighten down security. And I had the opportunity to sit in on the Troy High meeting, and I will tell you that I think I know pretty much all the things that we're doing, and then in sitting in that meeting, I was the buffoon of the room, because as the security experts kept asking questions, the experts and our administration on our side kept saying, yep, we're doing that, we're doing that, we're doing that, we're doing that, and it was very reassuring to see the level of detail and care that our administrators put into the protection of our students. One of the things that the head of security company said, and he's a former Secret Service agent, is he said, you know, let's be really honest here, that 80% of the security for our children is in procedures and people. It's not visible lockdown of the buildings. And he said, you know, so if we're going to succeed and protect our children, it's going to be on the procedural side. That's the thing you have to lock down, and making sure that everybody is doing what they need to be doing. And it was a very interesting conversation, because even within the first hour, there were several not difficult things that they brought up that we could do to enhance their security even more. So without revealing what those are, because part of the value of that security is making sure that we kind of hold those cards close to our chest. I'm really anxious to see the results of that, and the results of that will come back to the board, so we can see from their perspective how are we doing and what are some ideas for improving things even further. So, but actually, I walked out of there feeling really, really good about the work that your people have done. So thank you for that, and thank you for the administrators who are here who worked to that. Mr. West, I know, leads our crisis committee, and again, he's like the secret agent, where I'm like, we do? You know, it was very fun for me to see things I didn't know we were doing, and good things that were protecting our children. So I know the public obviously worries about this, and so any chance I can get to reassure the public that this is something that none of us take casually, and that our employee base is particularly serious about, and making sure they're executing against those goals every day. It was reassuring to me, even at a governance level, to see the acuity in the room. So thank you for all of you that work towards security on that. Okay, so I don't have anything else, so we need to talk about our next workshop. Is that the 7th? So it's February 7th at 6 o'clock at the central office building, and then we'll be back here on February 14th at 7 p.m. in this room. And is there anything else I'm forgetting, Ms. Holmes? All right, congratulations again on your job of posting meetings for another year. We're always happy that you're there. Okay, then I call the meeting adjourned. Thank you.